I'm Marianne, and I donated a kidney to my oldest brother, Robert. Before we heard, before we knew that my brother would be eligible for a kidney donation, I was surprised to hear what had happened to his life. He was going to kidney dialysis 3 times a week, and that meant that you'd get up really early, spend half a day, spend all morning at the dialysis center, come home feeling rotten, and then get up the next day and still feel kind of rotten, maybe start feeling better, and the next day back to dialysis. And it was just sad to see what was happening to his life. It was slipping away, and he was no longer able to enjoy the things that he loved to do. He was missing out on so much. I'm the youngest in this family, and I've always said, oh, we might be separated by years and by geography, but really any one of us would do anything we could for another one of the siblings. And so when my oldest brother, needed a kidney, it was like real life. We all, I think just about everybody in the family stepped forward to see if they could qualify to be the donor, and the others got disqualified, and so I was the one who was qualified at the end, and I felt like I was kind of representing the family, that I was the one who could do it, so I was the one who would do it on behalf of the entire family, to give this gift of life to Robert. There's another element to my feelings about donating to my brother. You know, it just felt like the right thing to do. It was like if he had fallen in the lake and I had a life preserver, I would throw it to him, right? Well, he needed a kidney. I had two. I could give him one, right? It just seemed like the right thing to do. And I really feel blessed that I had the opportunity and that I was healthy enough and a right match and that I could provide that gift to him. A day or two after surgery, I was laying there in the hospital bed and I heard a noise out in the hallway, and I realized it was someone singing. I listened. I was a man's voice, and he was singing a gospel song or something. And then I realized that was my brother singing. Now, in our family, we are not known for singing. We just probably shouldn't do it in public, but he was loud and proud, and they rolled him into his room, and he was in the room right next to me. So as soon as I could untangle myself from my bed, I waddled on over there, and I just remember seeing him laying in the bed and smiling, "Hey, Marianne." And yeah, he was on medication, but it was just amazing to see him. He had good color. He felt pretty good. He was alive, and he had my kidney in him. It was just, that series of events is something I will never forget. I pretty much live across the country from my brother, so I had to fly out to be there for the surgery. After the surgery, the doctors didn't want me getting on an airplane for 2 weeks, so I did stay at my brother's house and convalesced for 2 weeks before I came home. And then I got home on a Friday. The following Monday, I went back to work. Not full days. I was sleeping in and showing up late and maybe leaving a little early, but I was feeling pretty good. And by the following week, I was putting in full days. at work. Now I have a office job, so there's not a lot of physical exertion there. So that probably helped out. And also, usually when someone has surgery, it's because they're not well. And so it takes a while to recuperate. But I was healthy. I had surgery. It was easier to get back to a healthy state after the surgery. So I was surprised at how quickly I felt good. Prior to the surgery, there was so much testing. There were so many vials of blood taken from me, and imaging done, and things listened to, and poked at and tested. I was really impressed with how healthy I was coming out of that battery of tests, and was so grateful that I was healthy and strong enough to be a donor. And after the surgery, there's so few limitations. Like, don't eat too much protein. Okay, well, um, I think I'm a little bit more cautious now of what I eat and what I put into my body. And knowing that I'm healthy, or that my body, doesn't have major things wrong with it, um, makes me more motivated to keep it healthy and to treat it well and to treat it with respect. And so that it's really been a nice positive shift in the way I feel about myself and about the human body, which is such an amazing miracle anyway. One week after surgery, I went to the surgeon for the checkup, and I was feeling pretty good. He looked at my abdomen, looked at the scars, and said he was disappointed. And so I felt guilty. I didn't know what he meant, and I didn't know why I felt guilty. But I said, "What do you mean? What?" um, he said that when he operates on a healthy person, he wants it all to be beautiful and perfect. And I don't know. I had incisions and scabs and swelling. I thought it was all normal, and it was all normal. But that was just a strange moment. Um, Shortly after I donated the kidney, a friend asked me, how it felt to be missing an organ, and I thought, oh, I hadn't really thought of that, but the just the spontaneous answer was, oh, I feel like my heart is bigger. And I had to then think about that and ask myself, why was that the answer? Um, I feel like I understand a different kind of love, and that the opportunity to help somebody out like that, to literally save someone's life by sacrificing a little bit, um, was just a blessing. I just feel so fortunate to have had that opportunity and to have been a good match for my brother. And I feel like I am more empathetic, I am more tolerant, I am more understanding of the fact that everyone has pain and suffering, and we don't know what other people are living through. And I hear stories of people who need a kidney, and there's no one in their family that can or will donate, and they can't find a good match, and they have to wait on the list. Um, it breaks my heart to think that they're doomed, and how fortunate my brother was that I was a good match, and how grateful I am that I could give that gift. It's such I can't describe it. It's just such a feeling of love that I feel in my heart when I think about the circumstances. And it doesn't make me feel like I'm a fabulous person. it makes me feel like I had a fabulous opportunity. If I had the opportunity to talk to someone who was considering getting qualified to be a kidney donor, I would say, if you're thinking about it, go ahead and start the qualification process, because you can change your mind at any time. You can say no at any time, up until they are just ready to put you to sleep on the surgical table. You can say no. Um, and so go ahead and start the process. And you have time to consider it and to think about what it all means. I went through all the worst case scenarios in my head. What if I gave my kidney and it didn't work in my brother? Well, gee, I did everything I could do, right? So that's not on me. What if my brother took my kidney and then didn't take care of his own health and disrespected my kidney? Well, that's on him, not on me. I did what I could. What if my child was jealous that I gave the gift of life to my brother and left home for 3 weeks? Actually, that one really didn't come up, but that can happen, that a family member is jealous that you're giving your time and attention and an incredible gift to someone else. And so, go through all the worst case scenarios that your mind can imagine, and come to peace with the fact that if you make the decision to give your kidney, that is an amazing gift of life. And you will always know that you did everything you could to save someone's life. And it will change you in ways that you don't expect. I'm still trying to understand. I'm still thinking through my experience and what it means to me and what it means to my family. And it takes a lot of thinking, but it's a fun thing to ponder because it's all so positive. So, good for you for considering it. Don't be afraid. The thing that I got really stressed out about at the end was, what if I get there 2 days before surgery, they'd do another round of tests and discover some reason why I can't be the donor? I was so nervous about, failing the test, the final exam. That made me more nervous than the thought of having the surgery. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful gift. It's an amazing thing to experience as a donor. And it is just a loving, kind act that I can't think of anything that could equal the experience of giving a gift like this. So it is a blessing to be in the situation where you can.